Hi guys, wish you all a very good evening and I hope you all are doing fine. First of all, I would like to say a heartfelt sorry that I could not upload the video, could not work on making the video, and I had promised it a long time before. Maybe everything has the right time and right space to get fulfilled. So I think today when I'm making it is the right time for me to make this video. So in this video, I would like to share actually what I had told that I will share is, apart from doing everything like the elimination diet, the taking care of your stress levels or sleeping better, having right supplements, what else could have helped my healing? So first of all, I would like to briefly talk about healing in general. It can be a physical healing with some pain or some kind of a medical condition. It can be emotional, it can be mental, it can be a lot of things which kind of pulls us down in our journey forward. So healing can be of any type, and to each his own, and we all have our kind of journey in which we see that we have to relieve ourselves from pain of some kind of bondage or pain of something which is chronic in nature. So healing can be of different types. So what I would like to talk about healing is that how many people think that healing is a beautiful journey, or healing is a painful journey? How many people think like healing can be actually very depressing? I personally feel that healing is something which can bring about a new nuance in your life, a new idea, a new definition, a new dimension. Only thing is that you have to be open to that healing, which is asking you to penetrate deeper into yourself, digging into your inner world, and understanding that if there is something which needs to be healed, it is coming from some kind of a change or a shift in your life. So first of all, you have to welcome it, you have to embrace it, and you have to accept it. Most of the time we think that because we have pain in our lives, we have pain in my I have pain in my body, I have pain in my heart, or anywhere else, we feel resistant towards that feeling that we get. We don't like it, and it's absolutely normal not to like it, because that is causing you distress. But ask yourself, why has this come in the first place? So whenever you get any kind of pain, it is usually because of something which is out of balance in your life. We all have different areas on which we need to work in our life. It is social, it is financial, it is your career, it is your personal relationships, it is your spirituality. There are so many areas you need to work in your life. The problem comes, or when you see that a problem is recurring in your life, it is because you are paying disproportionate attention to different areas of your life. So while you are making a career for yourself, you are not taking care of your health. So sooner or later you will see some kind of pain, maybe physical pain, shoulder pain, because you're working on computer, or maybe you have put on weight. So I'm just giving you an example. So this comes because your life has a disproportionate attention towards different sectors. So first understand that the pain or the issue or the challenge comes because our life is not in sync, it is not in balance, and because of which the problem starts surfacing. And to correct that, you need to heal yourself, means restoring balance. That's the most important thing. Understanding that all areas of your life need certain kind of attention, and while you are giving attention to your career, family, your health is also your priority. Likewise, you need to meditate, you need to do deep breathing, you need to do pranayama. So I'm just giving random examples of what can be the disproportionate attention which you give to different sectors of your life. That is why it is important to stay in balance, which we all strive to achieve balance, but it is not always possible, because at different times in life we have different needs, we have different focus areas, and sometimes what happens is, because of putting too much focus in one area, we tend to ignore or neglect the other area. But the body has an inherent mechanism where it is trying to cope with it or cooperate with you till its threshold. So the point when it reaches its threshold, the pain will start manifesting, the pain will start coming. So That is the whole thing. It is when we think that pain is bad, but pain is a way the body is trying to communicate with you. The way pain is a way the body is telling you, listen, this part of your body is neglected. The Like a child, you have kids and you are not paying attention to one child. So what the child does, and a small child cannot speak, he will start crying. So we don't like the child crying, but why is the child crying? The child is crying in the first place because it is telling you that I also need your attention. So that is how it is pain. So now you just think the crying of the child is a cacophony to your ears, you don't like it, but there is a root cause of that, lack of attention from your side. So that is why if you start seeing pain in your body or anywhere else as a way of it communicating to you, you will start addressing the root cause. Why is the pain coming in the first place? So the first thing here is start accepting the pain as a part of your existence or as a part of your evolving. So when you start doing that, you will be less resistant towards that pain. The most important thing in any kind of healing journey is understanding that it's okay to be in that state and how can I better it. So when you have an approach where you don't resist the pain and learn to accept it, accept not in the way that it is okay, I will stay in pain. No, I have pain, I understand it, and now what can I do? Then you start doing your research work, then you start understanding the cause, and you start reading materials, then you start finding out what all you can do. The first place is understanding that it's okay. As a human being, you are exposed to so many things, and it is okay that you are facing a particular situation right now, and within the limitation which you have, you can still work on finding out a solution which can work for you. So I was actually saying something else and then I got deviated towards it. So this is the first step towards understanding that it's okay to be have a condition, but it is not okay to be resistant about it, because we are a bundle of energy. And what happens is that once you start resisting your pain or any kind of issue which you have, the energy which comes from you will not let you heal. So this is one thing. So right now, if you ask about my healing, how I it's not a one day that I got healed. Okay, I got healed. We are constantly healing, we are constantly transforming, we are constantly evolving. If I sit here now talking to you, it does not mean that I have completely healed. There is nothing in me which is in pain. There is nothing in me which has got any kind of issue or challenge. No, it is never like that. We are all outgrowing our previous self, and we are landing our foot on something new all the time, every day. But that problem is that we cannot see it. Like one single day you cannot see what's changing, second day you cannot see, but every day there is something changing inside you. And when you look back and you see, oh my god, while I was in the process, things were changing for me. So coming back to my healing, I would like to mention and bring this to your notice that I got this issue, this challenge, this experience in October 2019, 1 week before my marathon, 42-kilometer distance. And I had well prepared for that race, and I had started getting issues of itching all over my body. And that time I was not I did not know that I have Hashimoto's or any other skin issue, and the problem started from there. So it is not, see, now you see that I have healed and I have come out of it, but then you don't know where is the root, where is the source, when did it all start. I want to make you aware that for me also it started long back. For me also it was a long journey. Just because I am here right now does not mean that I was it's only a 2-month thing or a 3 months thing. I have been in this journey for almost 16 months now. And the first day when I got to know that I have some issue, I got severe like itching all over my body, where I could not sleep all the time. I'm running and scratching my body, scratching my skin, and there were marks everywhere. So October, November, December, January, February, March. Till March, I went to a lot of doctors. They gave me a lot of ointments. They gave me a lot of antibiotics, and then skin creams, and then Allegra and all that, because they thought that it's some kind of allergy. And I had really got tired going and visiting to a lot of doctors, and I started doing my own research. Where is this coming from? I had thyroid before the hand only. Since last 13 years, I have been taking medication for that, but I could not figure out that these two can be connected somewhere, because I had limited knowledge. And then I started reading stuff, and I understood that this is something related to dairy and gluten, and your body can become sensitive or allergic to this thing if you already have inflammation inside your body. So on my own only, I discontinued having dairy and gluten, and within 1 month's time I could see a lot of change in I had got big marks here on the stomach and in the forearm, because of constantly scratching out of that allergy which I am talking about. And then I quit dairy. It was a big thing, because I love filter coffee, I love coffee and biscuit. And then I quit gluten, which is a kind of fuel for people who are into running. They load on chapatis and all that. So I quit, and it was a hard decision, but I had to, because I had to bring myself to a place where, okay, right now I'm in a state where I cannot consume these things because they are not supporting my health. I need to bring myself to a health where I can have it. It was an internal dialogue, never easy, but you have to wrap your head around this thing, that every day you cannot have everything which you want, and you need to work out things according to where you are in your life right now. So March, I quit dairy and gluten, and then I could start feeling better with all the symptoms which I had. And it is towards the March end I got anti-TPO and anti-TG test to find out if my thyroid is Hashimoto's, and then I got to know about that and started reading extensively about Hashimoto's. And by July, I kind of again I took another blood test, and I saw my TPO levels, anti-TPO levels coming down, which means antibodies had come down because of quitting dairy and gluten, and I was feeling all well. And after July, like beach mein, for 1 month of lockdown, I was not running. And then June, July, I started running again, thinking that all is well with me. And then I ran June, July, August, September. Along with this, which I forgot to mention, is that towards the end of December 2019, along with the Hashimoto's and skin allergy issue, I got another issue, which was, I did not even know the name of that issue. What is it like? How does it feel being in this state where constantly there is some kind of cheesy discharge coming out from my vagina? Earlier, I used to think that it is the white discharge which all females get. But then I kind of started reading, but there was nothing specific which I could come across where I could understand that this is what it is. So I went to a lot of doctors, and believe me when I'm saying that January, February, March, these 3 months I was on heavy dose of antibiotics. So I used to visit a gynecologist. She would do my internal checkup, and she would say that your this is herpes, or this is something else. I got a lot of blood tests, then herpes was not there. I was like a child who does not know what it is, and then I felt clueless and helpless. Where should I go? I don't know, I should not say that the doctors don't understand, but the problem is we don't try to find out the root cause of a disease. Why is this happening or coming from in the first place? And we try to kind of nip it in the bud. Okay, it is coming, we have to clean it, but where is it coming? You ask yourself, there is something wrong in the body, by which the body is trying to communicate with you. But the medicine approach is never like that. So I not understanding, being ignorant about all that, I kept on taking antibiotics, and a heavier dose, and a heavier dose, and a heavier dose. And I had prepared for a New Delhi Marathon February, which I could not participate in because I was having this issue. Why I am not naming this issue is by that time I did not know what was the issue. So every time I would run, I would have a discharge coming out. I would feel so much pain, so much itching in that area, that it would make me embarrassed at times. I would go to the loo to scratch myself. Then I would think that I am running, what I am doing, I am going to the loo, coming back, starting my run again, and it was all very, very painful. But I did not come to terms with the fact that, Sapna, you need rest, your body needs rest. I was always going with my mind, I am strong, I am resilient, I can do this, I can go beyond the limitations of my body. This is not something which can stop me from running, because we kind of inherently have this kind of mentality where we think that we can outdo our physical limitations, we can go beyond what the body's perceived limits are. And I also kept on doing that, and January, February, March. And then one day I remember I had such huge loose motions, and I did not know why all this is happening. And I remember very distinctly, in March I had a period of 15 days where I had only loose motions. I was only passing watery stools. And I was clueless. I did not know. Again, I was clueless. Why is this happening? Why my stomach is not set? Why it is not digesting food? I had no idea, because I had never read about it and I did not know. And I am honestly saying that I was ignorant. And then like, why I'm sharing all this is to let you all understand that we are all in this journey, and every day you are evolving, every day you are learning something new about your body, new nuance about your body, something which is existing within you and you are not even aware, and your body is trying its hard to communicate with you, but you are oblivion. You always think that hustling is the way to be, going out, doing, showing up is the way to be. At times, showing up is also understanding your limitations. And then all this while, that discharge will keep on coming. Some days it will be less, some days it will be more. Some days I had to go to loo to clean it all the time. Some days I could not resist scratching my private part to give myself some relief. And sometimes I would think, oh my god, what all I am going through. I had to change several underwears to keep myself clean and hygienic all the time. And then also I would keep on going out for running. I never stopped running. And then it kept on going. We were in lockdown. Then also I was running April, May, June, July, August, September, and by October I witnessed in particular 3 days of running, where in between a period of 15 days I've witnessed 3 days of running where I am running and my head is dizzy. I open my eyes and cannot see anything, and I don't know what is this. So the earlier issue which I had was Candida albicans. It is an overgrowth of Candida inside. Candida we all have, females have this, but overgrowth is something which is not good. And this happened because my gut was inflamed, because I had taken a lot of antibiotics. I got leaky gut, and the diarrhea which I was talking about came because the good bacteria in the stomach in the gut were killed because of the antibiotics, and I had not supplemented anything. And such heavy dose of antibiotic, every time I would visit the gynecologist, she would give me next big dose, next big dose, next big. But I can't blame her. This is the way the modern medicine world works, like that. You have to do the work yourself. You have to understand. You are literate, you can read, you can educate yourself. And then the fatigue and the dizziness which I was talking about, that was adrenal fatigue. I did not know why I'm feeling so tired, why my runs are not solid. I cannot have that strong pace, I cannot have that energy, I cannot feel the burst in the speed which I used to run. But I never knew. I always thought that because of lockdown I have rested, maybe I'll get my pace back, maybe I'll get my speed back. But it never came to me. How it would come in the first place? Because my body was not in the same state. My immunity was compromised, my gut health was compromised. I was doing all sorts of wrong things to further aggravate the issue which I was going through. And then came one day when I ran 21 kilometers, and at the end of the run, I remember very distinctly, I could not stand on my feet. I was like this. And that day I told myself, Sapna, you are not going to kill yourself for this. You have to take a step back. I came back home and I went to diagnostic center, and I got my anti-TPO and anti-TG test, because I know I have Hashimoto's. And that time it came 1300. The normal range is below 500 anywhere if you have anti-TPO, but it came 1300. It was like bolt from the blue. It was shocker of my life then when I saw that it is 1300. And all this while I was following Ankita, and I knew that she could be of help to me, because she talks about gut health, and she comes across very strongly about how she always talks about Hashimoto's and thyroid and gut issues and everything. So I thought, I am very happy that I could manifest a person who could help me, and I had completely trusted her for her wisdom, her knowledge and experience and expertise, and the kind of energy she has. So I immediately approached, sent her an email and got on the plan. So now go back, October 2019 marathon, I ran with itching. January I was on heavy antibiotics. February I was on heavy antibiotics. March I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I quit dairy and gluten. I felt better, but then because I had Candida albicans, I kept on running. My gut was inflamed. Nothing was done to heal the gut, to make the gut lining strong. I was eating, toxins were going inside the bloodstream, they were attacking, the immune system was attacking, thinking that it is a foreign invader. And that is when I was doing a lot of running and all that, stress related, my hormones were out of place. Who else will not suffer in this kind of situation when everything is haywire in your life and you don't have a clue what you are doing to your own health? And Ankita came like an angel. She helped me understand that running will always be there for you. You need to change your perspective now. You need to get healthy first. You need to understand that your body has a limitation. You have to support it. You have to work on improving your health, work on improving your immunity, work on improving and making your gut health stronger. Then you can think about doing something else, running a marathon or cracking a PB or whatever you want to do in life. It was a tough call for me when I took her program, and it is not like that she gave me a prescription and it was easy to come to terms with something like coffee, no; running, no; fruits, no; seeds, no; nuts, no pulses, no legumes, nothing. I was on a diet for almost 2 months, like rice, veggies and limited portions of some other grains. So every single time I had this issue, I would ask myself, Sapna, what do you want? You want to go back to running? You want to do whatever you have passion about? Just do this right now, one day at a time, one day. And there were not days that I did not cry. Yes, I cried in front of Ankita, asking her when I will heal. But this is vulnerability. You question yourself, but then you don't stay stuck there. You rise to the occasion. You know that there will be limitations, but there will be a stronger you waiting for you at the finish line, just the way you keep on going each single day. So running kind of has instilled in me that perseverance, that resilience, that attitude, that it matters. When it matters, you give it your best shot. So she put me on a plan. Then we incorporated a lot of stuff, eliminated almost everything from the kind of lifestyle which I was leading. And the most difficult was coffee. So I kind of now understood with Ankita that how can coffee work against what I am doing. Coffee is a stimulant, so I had got adrenal fatigue, and if I keep on chugging cups and cups of coffee, so that is kind of masking my pain, because it stimulates my nervous system and I feel good, but then I crash down. So I am not in my natural state. How can I be in my natural state when I don't put my hands to some kind of stimulants which give me energy, dopamine, endorphins and all that? That is why I did not run also, right? So everything that is external to me, which gives me pleasure, happiness, dopamine, was stopped, so that I can continue being in my natural state as much as possible. This was the most difficult part. But since the day she told me that you are not supposed to have coffee, I did not even smell coffee, because I knew I am doing it for a reason. Every day I would question this. Every day I would know that yes, I have to do it. So besides the supplements, the plan, Ankita, energy, universe, everything, what worked for me? So this is the main topic that I wanted to speak about. I know my video is going long, but I have hope in my heart that people will listen to it and understand and figure out what can they do to bring a better kind of relief to their symptoms, because we all are somewhere similar. We all have issues, we all have emotions, we all have challenges. And if you can hear someone's story, you will understand that okay, this I can also take a leaf from someone's book and incorporate it in my life. Who knows, you can find a solution. So I have been meditating for almost around 4 5 years. It's not that meditation comes naturally and easy to me. I had my time when I would question why I'm doing this and it is boring and I don't like it, and I would have my thoughts haywire. But because of situations in life, to keep myself calm and sane and poised and balanced, I started meditating, and slowly and gradually it became a part of my daily routine, where I would meditate. Even when I go for run in the morning, I would take aside 15 minutes, 10 minutes to meditate, pranayam, deep breathing. Always I used to do. So I firmly believe in Sai Baba, and I believe that he is a supreme power in my life. Everything is happening according to his divine plan. For each one of us, we have someone. Maybe it's just energy, maybe it's universe, maybe some God, Jesus, anyone. You all have someone with who does not have a defined form, but you have some faith. Maybe that is your conscience. For each one of us, it might be someone else or something different, but we all have someone who guides you. So all this while 16 months, I would keep on asking him, what are you doing, where are you taking me, what is all this, when will I find a solution? But I knew one thing: he is always holding me, he is always taking care of me. I had this faith. I would break down, I would cry, I would sulk, I would write letters to him, but then I'll again come back and pray to him that yes, you are taking care of me, you are there for me. And I would always say, thank you God for being there with me. I would always believe that he is there. There would be moments when I would see Candida and I would start crying, when I would get itching and I would start crying. But then I think that in this also there is God's will. In this also there is something which he's making me understand. In this there is a story, and I need to unfold each single day. I kept on doing that. So as a part of my meditation practice, I would always want to bless people, pray for people, wish people a good life, wish people abundance. I would do that as a part of my meditation practice, but it was not that I was always doing it. So this time in January, December end, January 1st, I had gone to Shirdi. I don't know, something happened when I went there. I don't know what transpired. I don't know what could have made me feel this way, but I saw a lot of poverty there, people on road begging for alms and food. We all see that everywhere. It takes all kind of people to make the world, right? So I saw a lot of poverty, and doing darshan in the temple, that energy comes inside you, because you have faith, because you believe in that energy. While coming back in train, I was doing my Wim Hof method of breathing, and I went into a state where I was meditating. And I was meditating, and I can't tell you, I'm getting goosebumps sharing this, that I started praying for people. I started praying for a healing of the world. I started praying for the birds, the animals, the microorganisms, the plants, the trees, for everyone who is in pain. I brought in front of me the people who are suffering. I brought in front of my eyes, I know people who need healing. I brought in front of me the faces I know very closely are suffering. I brought in front of me women who want to get pregnant. I brought in front of my eyes men who are fighting, who are challenged with financial constraint. I brought in front of me a mother who wants to meet her son, or a child who wants something. So all this thing I kept on bringing in my mind, in my thought, and suddenly, I don't know what happened that day in train, I started crying. I cried a lot, and that was not a cry for pain for people who are in pain. It was a cry for gratitude for the kind of life I have, for the privileges I have, for my healthy body, for my healthy mind, for whatever I can think about myself, do about myself. I am independent. Why the hell there is a need for me to ask for my healing when the world needs so much of healing? Your prayers about the world, about the people, about the universe, seeking blessings for them, asking for universe to heal the world, asking for universe to bless the people, the plants, the trees, each single organism in the world who are inhabiting this earth needs healing. And what better way to let it come from you? What better way to let you be the source? So in my mind, I just opened my heart. I opened my heart to ask for healing of the world, to bring some kind of relief to person in pain, to give some kind of solace to people who are crying, give some kind of warmth, love, care, anything and everything which a soul needs to feel happy on this planet. And that day when I meditated and I opened my eyes, I felt that there is nothing which I want to ask for myself. There is nothing which needs healing from my end. I am already healed from inside. And I cried a lot. I'm feeling a lump in my throat while I'm speaking this, but this is honestly how I felt. And you can go back to my YouTube video I had made regarding this. Can you do this? I think the topic was, can you ask for this in your prayers, right? So that very time after coming back home, I made that video because I had got really emotional feeling that. So that was the first day when I kind of with a lot of intention, it came in my mind automatically. It's not that something I thought about. It came in my mind, and I then every morning what I started doing is pray for the people, love for the people, care for the people, healing for the people, healing for the world, everything around me. I started doing in tandem, day after day, day after day, day after day, with lot of feeling in my heart for every single person on this earth. And I can tell you very honestly that it had nothing to do with bringing myself healing. I did not know that I am doing it for myself or for people. I just felt so good doing that. It would bring me so much peace, so much calmness. Honestly, I was doing it for myself because asking for others would make me feel so happy that I could not find that happiness anywhere else. And I kept on doing, kept on bringing, in fact, even the people from my past life who have hurt me somewhere, I would bring them in front of my eyes, ask for forgiveness, and ask them, give them my kindness, my gentleness, my softness. And it would feel so good that the world, the universe is a unified lot. We think that we are separate, but we are not. We are all connected. We are all one. We are all same. We might be unique, we might be different, but we are all somewhere. Is that there is an underlying current which connects us all together somewhere. So when you pray for one person and another person heals, it is that connection which works, that underwire, that undercurrent which is working. It works, and it 100% works. There is power in your prayer. If you really wish well for others, you can see that person scaling heights with your prayers, and it does. The only thing is intention. Where is the intention? What is the intention? From where is it coming? So I kept on doing, and I don't know, 8th of January onwards, I started feeling a change in my body. My cravings had gone out of the roof. I would graze whole day. I would keep on searching things to feed myself, and I did not know why I am doing this. Can't I control myself? It was the candida which was asking me to eat, because candida feeds on sugar, and I did not know that. And I would keep on controlling myself not to eat, and I was just thinking, what is it, Sapna, wrong with you? Why are you having so many cravings? And Ankita told me that the cravings are because the candida wants to survive in your body, and that is why it is asking you to eat. It's not you, it's the candida. And then suddenly in 8th of January, 9th of January, 10th of January, I started feeling that my cravings are gone, and I don't feel only 3 meals a day. And then parallel to this, I observed that there is no candida. And oh my God, eureka moment for me. It was like, wow, one day after the day, one day after the other day, I kept on seeing a change in me. I kept on seeing that I am feeling better. I kept on seeing that there's something changing inside me. And I did not know what actually worked. Yes, Ankita's plan worked, her trust worked, her support worked, and my continuously doing that also worked. We cannot discount what we do. 22nd of December, I felt candida troubling me a lot. I had itching, I had huge discharge, and I was not in good spirits. I was walking down my apartment at 10:30 in the night, and I was crying, and I had called Ankita also, and I expressed to her that I'm feeling this way, and she had sent me a voice note pacifying me and making me understand that things are working in your favor, just believe that. And I was walking down, and I walked for 40 minutes trying to find out what else should I do to bring this down. And when I got tired, I sat down and wrote a check note. There is an app, check note. I wrote, Baba, I know you are with me right now. I know you are in my tears. I know you are in my pain. Tell me something which I have not done till now, which I need to do. Tell me something I want to learn. I want to understand where have I gone wrong? What is it that still needs to be done? What is it that I am missing? I want to heal. I want to feel like a bird. I want to fly again. Please help me, Baba. 22nd December 2020. I wrote this and I forgot about it. And after this whole of this January thing, one day I was just sitting and thinking that what actually healed me, or what helped me recover so soon. And I follow a certain pages on Instagram which shows Baba's images, and I was thinking that, and something came in front of me, and there was a note written in that if you keep on praying for yourself, you will never be healed. When you pray for your people, when you pray for the community, when you seek blessings for others, your healing will come automatically. I listen to people who pray for others. I listen to people who want others to heal. I listen and I am with my devotees who wish the well for the world. Something like this was written. Oh my God, this was again another eureka moment for me. And a day after, I was again thinking the whole thing, and suddenly I got hold of my mobile and I did not do anything, and I found out the check note was opened. And the check note, I had not opened it, the check note was opened, and it had that note which I had written to Baba, that tell me what is it that I have not done till now. So I then went back and correlated everything. See, he is speaking to you in various ways, whether you are ready to listen or not. That's the whole thing. Right at this time, I am so very emotional speaking about the whole thing, the whole incident, the whole experience, the whole journey, so that it can help someone heal. Let go of your expectation to come on the other side. Stop resisting the pain. Be with it, observe it, don't judge it, don't be critical about it. If there is pain in the body, kind of accept, give it love rather than resisting it. Your energy has a lot to do with your healing, how you feel on the inside. So it is not only about detoxifying the body, you have to detoxify your mind, your emotions. How much we are critical about others, how much we are judging others, what kind of feelings, love, hatred, jealousy, aggression, ego, these things keep on plaguing our mind. But do we, at the time of eating organic food, do we think that we have to detox from our emotions, our past bondages, our emotional trauma, attitude of unforgiveness for other people, attitude of not forgiving yourself for past mistakes you have done, not having love for people? It is okay, you build boundaries, that's okay, but give kindness to people, express kindness, express love, because we are all together, we are all one, however different we are. So this is my message. When you are working on healing your body, heal your mind, pray for others. A self-centric approach that I am suffering, I am in pain, I am crying, I am stuck in my head, I am battling this condition. You are not battling it. Life is not a battlefield. There is something which you are experiencing. Change your inner dialogue, change your chemistry inside, what is going on, your emotions, your feelings. Work on that along with a wholesome diet, along with a wholesome food, lifestyle, sleeping better, managing your emotions better, doing a kind act to bring a smile on someone else. All these things will come together to heal you, to make you understand that you are already a person who is capable of healing himself. You are capable, you are self-sufficient. It's only that you have forgotten your power, you have forgotten your strength, your resilience, your energy, the positivity which is there inside you. Start working on going inside as much as you want to go outside. The next best supplement, the next best protocol, the next nutritionist, the next YouTube video, the next plan, the next diet, all this is fine and they all have place in your journey. But it matters most, what are your basic thoughts, or where is the foundation coming from, what are you thinking in your heart every single moment. That will go a long way in your healing, along with the supplements, the food and everything. It can work like a balm for your aching wound. It can work like a warmth which you need from other people. You can give yourself that. Start blessing the people around, the community, the people. There are so many people who are suffering more than you are. You only have a medical condition, it can always reverse. You have resources, you understand well, you have wisdom, knowledge, experience, everything. You can make things work according to the way you want. But the only thing is believing in it, trusting in the universe, having faith in God or whatever you choose to believe He is, and then doing the work without resisting, doing the work without expecting when I'm going to heal. Everything in your life is always coming together. So I have to end this video because it has become very long. I don't know how many people have the patience to watch it till the end, but I wanted to make it exhaustive so that you understand that healing is not a destination, it's a journey, and journey can be long and tumultuous also, but every day you are evolving. You are energy, you are universe, and you have within yourself the power to bring about the change you want to see in the world. So right at this time, I pray for the healing of the world, the healing of all the people who need healing. Anyone who is listening to me, I pray that you get relief, you get all the strength to go through your healing journey in a more positive and a more energetic way. Love and light, Sapna.
Not everything in life is meant to be on Instagram. But then,